The comedian guys that make up shit.
No, but the one who's like always like telling these stories that Sam made up. What's his name?
I don't know. Anyway, we are now we're recording, and I just want to welcome everybody to episode 32 of Terrorisk. All six of you who probably end up watching. Nah, I've noticed like with each progressive episode, our view count is going up. We still don't got likes because like people are probably like, no, there's no way I'm gonna debase myself by fucking liking this bullshit. But yeah, you know, we're gaining some traction though, nonetheless. I just want to welcome my friend, my good homie and confidant, Dmitriy.
What's up?
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. You're gonna edit all this out, right?
What? I'm not editing shit, man. This
Damn,
is it. We're in this shit.
Damn,
but it's okay. Bro. I mean, it's not like this isn't the fucking Daily Show, you know? Like it could get a little awkward. The only thing I don't like with podcasts is the dead air. You know, like moments. This is what I was telling you yesterday, like over message when I was talking to you about it. I was like, I'm pretty good at like keeping up a conversation. What I really meant is like just avoiding dead air. You know, I may not fill it with like what's it called, with anything substantial, but I will fill it, you know, one way or another. And you know, it's like, you know what, because all right, so pro tip for all you watching, if you're trying to start a podcast, it's a lot like dating, you know, as a guy. Really, like, don't ever worry about like not having anything to say on a date. Because because on a date, all you really got to do is just ask questions, act interested, because no matter who you're dealing with, anyone's favorite topic of conversation is going to be themselves, you know?
Yeah. I mean, see, the way I fill dead air is I just say really awkward shit. And just like dating, that might happen here.
Yeah. So. Okay, that was true to form. That was pretty awkward.
Exactly. So I hope you'll edit that out too.
I don't, dude. Still, you can't ask me to edit shit out. I hardly do edit. The only time I do edit is if it's like a technical issue, like this whole segment, one of the mics was out, so it's like it's stupid to keep it in. But generally, yeah, I don't really edit. I kind of just, you know, do it like freeform thing. I feel like that's just like, you know, general practice for podcasting, right? You can't edit shit. Otherwise, you might as well just be a fucking YouTuber.
Yeah.
I like to pretend like, you know, we're on like a radio show, and you know, it's like it's broadcasting, and you can't edit live, so it's kind of like the same thing. Also, it's like the podcast is kind of supposed to preserve the feeling of just like broing down, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, see, I always imagine even for like live radio, there's like some kind of like 20-second delay. Or if someone says some really dumb shit, they'll just be like...
a whole 20 seconds, yeah, to think about it.
I don't know.
I think the lag is actually different across mediums, like, or actually no, probably like depending on how far you are.
Well, no, you know like how they like censor live TV? That's because they do film it with a lag.
Oh,
and they actually have censors watching it live, and then they go beep, 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 beep at like the appropriate fucking times.
That's really fucking cool. I would...
Don't quote me on that. This could just be shit I'm making up. I don't know.
You know, it's actually funny you mentioned that. Like, I was actually thinking about doing every time I do the podcast, I would like, because the machine has its own interface, so I would like figure out a way to like do the input and output chain, so that like I could like do like effects and maybe do music on the fly like while we're podcasting.
You get one of those like sound effect things. You know,
yeah, I mean that
be like
could,
whap.
Yeah, that could do that too. Like the siren, like.
Yeah. You say some crazy shit, you just be like, bah, 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 bah.
Yeah. You're a fucking bleep and a fucking bleep, and you could just sit there and suck my bleep while you go bleep yourself.
Yeah, that was done on NPC. Actually, he didn't say bleep; he said the words.
They're gonna know I didn't say the words.
No, how, dude? They will not.
Oh shit! So it's kind of off topic, but okay. I wanted to inform you on this. This whole time for like I don't know, since I first heard the name, I've known nothing about this dude, and fucking the guy Andrew Tate. Just talking to the mic if you're gonna talk. Fuck you, man. Oh my god, you're doing that thing.
I'm saying things right now. What? Come on, they can hear me, right?
No, I'm saying, yeah. So I just found out about Andrew Tate. Just
Yeah.
figured out his whole deal, and you know, I was like, it was funny to me because I was like, this dude is not saying anything new.
No, of course.
Like, everything you said is extensively covered in the red pill sidebar.
To some degree, yeah.
I mean, it's not like I've ever really identified as a red pillar, but I've read that shit. I've read the
Yeah.
fucking. I know the whole like
Yeah.
the concrete philosophy and ideology behind it. I
Yeah,
get
I
it.
mean, as a guy, you kind of have to. Reading.
I mean, a modern guy, you have
yeah,
to.
because
Guys back then didn't have to.
no, I don't know.
Because
I don't
back then you either died real quick or you never had to deal with it.
know.
Like,
How far back are we talking?
it's not here nor there, but like, I listened to like Andrew Tate's shit for the first time like very recently, and I was like, this guy's literally just fucking saying like, you know, red pill, which
Yeah.
normally wouldn't be a problem. I'm like, you know what, good on you, go fucking guide your fellow wayward man. You know, I get that.
Right.
What I didn't like though was very quickly I realized like he's got a whole money thing attached to it. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, join my boot camp for how to be an alpha. That
Yeah.
kills it for me. You know, I'm like,
Well,
I hate that
yeah.
shit. It's
I
like
mean-
it's like a McDojo, you know, like a martial arts school where it's clear you make a living off this, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, that's. I mean, yeah, he's kind of combining the red pill like dating coach stuff with the get rich, you know, starting your.
Well, no. I
business
mean, I
stuff.
never saw him do dating coach shit because I remember those days too. I remember
Right.
way back when like PUA was a thing.
Yeah.
And like as far as like what Andrew Tate was espousing, he didn't. I didn't really see him fucking like. I mean, maybe I just didn't see enough of his shit, which I really don't want to. But
I
like,
actually didn't either. I'm
but like,
talking out
yeah,
of my ass
but
here.
like for the shit that I did see that was that had the most views, I was like, he's not really going into like the dating thing. If anything, he's like kind of subverting it by saying like, he's basically saying if you get rich. And you just make yourself not a fucking loser, you'll never have to worry about pussy ever again, which is
Well-
actually pretty fucking true, you know? Like,
Yeah, I mean, you have though the rich people problems of like, you know, how do you know who to trust, and who's like a gold digger? and all
no,
that good stuff.
I think that's the same problem that poor people have. It's just for rich people, there's more at stake.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
But that's still a problem.
No, but it's not a problem with like any specific demographic or class or individual. That's just a human problem.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
a human.
okay, you can
That's a
get gold
human.
dug at any income bracket.
That's the human condition, you know. It's like we're all out for number one at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's like, and that's why that's the one aspect of like I don't know that whole manosphere bullshit that I actually agree with. It's like where they insist. It's like, listen, dude. I'm not here to watch your back. I don't fucking love you. I will literally eat the lunch from your fridge and fuck your girl. But I won't bullshit you because I hate bullshit. And I could
Alright.
really empathize with that. I feel like, you know,
I mean, that's true, except for the part where they do bullshit you.
well, that's
Yeah.
why
It's just the whole joke.
that's why I could never adopt that because I would like I wish I could say something like that, but then I would think about it as like, no, I talk so much bullshit.
Right.
There's no way you can't live a life without bullshitting people. Like it just
Well,
doesn't
that's-
work.
Especially if you're gonna like pick up girls.
Yeah, but there's one thing I will say this. I don't bullshit myself, which is why it kind of makes sense
That's
in
what
that.
they all say.
No, in that no, I really fucking don't. Like life for me got a lot better when I stopped lying to myself.
It's hard to do though. I'll be honest.
I guess. But you know, like I feel like for some people, not all, but for some people, you get put in that situation where bullshitting yourself is no longer an option. You're no longer a civilian because of the
Yeah.
circumstances you find yourself. For me, I was a fucking teenager in a group home. I didn't decide to put myself in a group home. The state decided that. The court decided that. My family decided to cede fucking, custody. So the state had to pick up the pieces, and they had nowhere to put wayward kids like me except for fucking foster homes, group homes. So like,
Oh, yeah.
so going through that, I realized I was like very quickly, it's like, okay, so, certain things like I realized what I was taking for granted.
Yeah.
Other things I realized what other people took for granted the whole time. And like, all that other shit. And
Yeah, like you got a reality check
yeah,
into hardcore reality
yeah.
as a kid with no like means of supporting yourself or like, because kids don't really get jobs.
Yeah, and that's and once you're in that position, even as a teenager, you can't bullshit yourself. Like, dude, like look at you. Like, what are you
Yeah,
gonna?
you're just gonna die.
What are you gonna? You think you're gonna act like the man, and you're gonna think you're one of those like cool kids in school who fucks all the girls? No, you're like a nobody. You're the definition of marginalized sitting in this group home. So it's like that was my
Yeah.
reality. It's like there's no, like that was like you said a reality check.
Right. I mean, I obviously have not faced anything like that, and I'm incredibly grateful for it.
No, but now you are. Now every guy is.
Well, not like that.
No, but you know what I mean. Like, all right. So, I heard this like really funny thought that someone told me. They were like, dating a girl with BPD is like the closest a white guy can ever get to feeling racism. You know, like to actually being a victim of racism.
What do you mean?
Think about it. You ever date a girl with BPD?
I'm not gonna answer that.
Oh well, fair enough. But do you have any fair insight on it at least?
Yeah, I mean, I read a lot about psychology,
Okay.
but I don't know, just connect the dots for me. I'm just kind of stupid right now.
Okay, so I don't know, like you date a girl with BPD, chances are you do fit under that demographic of like middle class, white, Asian, whatever, you know?
Oh, okay. Do you mean she has BPD or
Yeah.
she got diagnosed with BPD?
Wait, what do you mean?
Because, like, to get a diagnosis, yeah, you have to be a little upper class.
Okay, you know what?
But,
That's
like,
a,
you could
that,
just
that's no,
have
no,
BPD.
no. That's a very, very fair point. Fine, we could say diagnosed with BPD. That's that's a really, really, really good and nuanced distinction that I never would have thought about. You're right. If they do, you know, there is a very vast difference between someone who has BPD and diagnosed BPD, because to be diagnosed BPD, that's to imply that you have access to like higher kind of
Yeah. So, but like, okay, continue.
Okay, so yeah, it's like demographically, like that's like a shit end of the stick that's the shit end of the stick as a guy in terms of dating. Like you end up with a girl with BPD, like that's like bad person disorder, you know?
Right, but then
which I don't really mean that.
Where does
I'm just
the
like saying
racism
that.
come in?
So again, so you don't know how? Do you know why it's miserable to date a girl with BPD?
Depending on whether or not I have dated a girl with BPD, I guess I could say yes or no. No, I think I like most of my exes. So
Okay, so imagine
I wasn't miserable.
Imagine being a guy, right?
Yeah.
And like you meet a girl who you're attracted to,
Okay.
and on some level you connect with emotionally, maybe deeply, right?
Right.
So you're gonna care about this person, right?
Yeah.
And what if, by nature of a simple diagnosis, every time you go out with them, they'll start like breaking down. They'll have public fits. They'll have meltdowns. They'll flip out on you in private and in public, just like completely unwarranted over the most random bullshit that just happens.
Wait. You mean to tell me girls don't just do that normally?
Okay, let me finish. I mean, aside from that,
Just fucking with you.
all right, but you know what I'm saying, like.
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine that. Put yourself in that, right?
Yeah.
So basically, to put it blankly, you're a guy
Yeah.
in a socio-parasitic relationship where not only are you needed, but you're also the target of direct abuse,
Yes.
mental and sometimes physical.
Yes.
That's the life of a black person in America.
Okay. Now.
Do you really need me to fucking spell it out like that?
Dude,
Like,
honestly, yes.
it's okay. No.
because
It's okay. It's fine.
For some reason, now that I'm on this podcast thing, I'm like weirdly like stage fright, like mind blank type shit. I don't know why.
Dude, don't worry. You'll get over it. See,
I'm just saying.
No, this is why I feel like I'm good at this, because like even if you're like this, you could still lean on me.
Thank you.
That's why I feel like I'm a good co-host, because like you could use me as a crutch, you know, like
for sure.
This is exactly what I meant yesterday when I was like, I trust me, I can keep the conversation going. You don't know what I mean when I said that.
I just didn't realize it would be like this,
Welcome to the game.
That's what I mean. Because
Welcome
I
to
was
the
like,
game.
what's so hard about talking into a microphone?
Wait, do you listen to podcasts?
The closest I've gotten to is I'd listen to like streamers.
Okay.
I guess.
But so you never really got into like a specific podcast?
No, I don't have the patience.
No, it's fine. It's not like I would catch myself like sitting down listening to a podcast on purpose, but I do a lot of driving.
Yeah, that's what all people say. Everyone who has a car loves podcasts.
Yeah.
That's like a podcast record moment. Like you could quote me on that one.
Well, actually, what got me into podcasts wasn't even driving. It was where I just randomly decided one day like to start a podcast, and before I even like put the idea into motion, I had to do my research. That's just always what I do when I get into something.
Like, what are they even talking about? Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I do when I get into something new, whether it's whatever it is. I always do my research. I always do my homework. I go and look up people who do it really good so I can figure out what they're doing right?
Indeed.
So I came upon my podcast that I listen to now, and I figured out the format, I figured out the formula, I figured out the different styles of it. Like certain people like to podcast informatively, other people like to just completely shit post, other people like to be sincere, other people just like to be these fucking fake husks of like human beings that aren't really people, and they just spout like fucking political ideology, whatever.
Yeah, I want to do that.
So it's like
it's all content in the end, right?
So here's what I think. I may not be the smartest guy. I may not be the funniest guy. I may not even be the most like intellectually gifted guy to like, for you to sit there and like listen to speak for an hour with another person. But I will say this. I think I am technically gifted within like the confines of like the shit that is required to produce a podcast. I think I know exactly how these fucking hardware systems work, and I think I know how to manipulate it pretty fucking well, which is why I'm a one-man show at this point. Like I could literally just like produce like all of this shit, edit it, and like distribute it all myself. And I think like that helps. So I may not have anything that sticks out in terms of like particularly in terms of personality, but because the hardware thing and
don't sell yourself short. Your personality's pretty good.
All right, but because the technicals are such a fucking non-issue, I'm able to do this. I'm able to just like call up my friends and be like, yo, you want to get on an episode? Because it's that simple now, because I have it down so pat. Now it's like I don't have to worry about like, the logistics behind doing this fucking podcast.
Hold on. Because do you think like most people are like bottlenecked by the logistics, or do you think like it's the content itself? Because what you're talking about is kind of like the barrier to entry.
What do you mean?
Like once you have this assembled, that's like, okay, you're in the door.
No. Okay,
no?
so what I'm saying is like, actually, you know what? You're right. I know. I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound like I disagree, but you're right. You're absolutely
disagree,
right.
Okay.
No, in the context
like,
of
you do this.
In the context of a podcast, you're absolutely fucking right. That's really all it takes. Once it's set up, then it's all about the content.
Right.
But here's what I'm discovering, right?
Most people fuck that up.
No, nothing to do with other people, right? This is just, maybe it's just me, maybe other people have the same idea. Okay. But as I got into like the logistics behind the podcast and, started having to like get proficient at what I needed to, in terms of like recording, editing, acquiring the resources, getting, setting up the accounts and acquiring credentials and shit, which a business bank account really does help. Having a business really does help. Dude, honestly, I forgot how exactly.
I will give you that. That shit is super fucking annoying.
Yeah. So I was able to do that, right? And then like, along the way, I started developing more ideas. I was like, you know what? Yeah, there's the podcast, but what if I did like a radio segment thing? Because I have like enough friends that make original music. I make music. So what if like for an hour, instead of like just an hour-long talk podcast, what if like I just released like hour-long things where it's just like, we play some music, we talk a bit, play some music, like it's as if it's a radio. And what if I just release that? Like I'm not gonna get like a copyright hit for that, No. It's all. It's not like I have their permission explicitly, so like.
Exactly. Yeah. Once you have the platform, you could just like go off and.
Another thing, and another thing is like since I'm able to do this, I learned how to stream. Now I could easily stream games. The only thing is I haven't found a game that I like give a shit enough about yet to like be worth a damn stream. But I would do that.
Talking about earlier.
Yeah, but I would do that promotionally, and on top of that, like. All right, that guitar vid that I fucking made with the machine and thing, I wouldn't have been able to figure out how to do that if it wasn't for this. If I didn't learn how to like produce like video layered podcasts and shit, like it taught me a lot. It taught me how to fucking do all the technicals of production. So now like I feel like at this point now it's just like it's not limited to a podcast anymore. Now I could just use this brand, the Terrorisk brand, which I think is pretty cool. People have called it many things, but I like it.
What do they call it?
People have called it cringe, stupid, silly, awesome, badass, McDonald's. Either way, it is kind of like an eye grabber. People have called it an eyesore, but I like it. No,
it's definitely got.
Spunk.
It grabs an attention. Yeah,
it's got the spunk.
It's like terrorist.
Yeah.
You should say the N-word.
Oh man, don't. Fuck. That was
See, now you want to edit it, right?
No, dude. This is what I meant when I said like the further back you go with these episodes, the worse it gets. I feel like the episodes get better over time, which is a good thing, right? You don't want it working.
Sure.
Yeah, you don't want it working.
You're
the other
regressing.
Way. Yeah. You don't want it working the other way around because that's really bad. But yeah, I feel like the content has gotten better, which is honestly kind of sad in a way because it's like, It's like at first I started like I tried so hard to make this like a
real thing,
like a colleague kind of thing. Like I could.
Oh yeah, you wanted people.
Yeah, like people that I could call my equals, and we do this like. But it just quickly.
They gotta earn that shit. Yeah.
But it quick. No. If I literally didn't just take it by the reins, it would have died.
Yeah,
Straight
sounds
up.
about right.
It was like, and I was like, I already put too much in the inception of it personally for me to just like let that happen, because I knew there was like it's easy to keep this going. I knew it's like something that I could just like.
Well, I mean, to me, it's like you know when you do like group projects in school.
Yeah.
And there's like the one guy doing all the work, and everyone's like, "That's not how it's gonna work in the real world." That's how it's gonna work in the real world. They prepared you for that shit.
Yeah, they do.
That's exactly.
That's what it is. That's the dynamic.
Exactly what it's gonna play out like.
But it's not even like I was one of those kids in school. Like I never went. I was a bad. It's just I don't know.
Maybe
it's
that's why you're not prepared to notice that people will do this.
You're right. But at least I know that I'm the kind of person where even if like everyone were to let me down, I would still figure out a way to like, because I'm a stubborn bastard like that, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think I'm all the better for it. Shit. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be sitting here having this stimulating conversation.
Yeah, I'm stimulated, but
yeah. You know who gets a bad rap?
What?
Jordan Peterson.
Oh, you want me to go into this segment?
Oh, just segueing, you know.
Well, fun fact, because I could have done that through the Andrew Tate thing, right?
Well, that's why, dude. All right, thank you, because I was literally setting you up with that.
Yeah,
like,
but then you like tangented. I don't know.
No, I only found out about Andrew Tate recently because for this episode I was researching Jordan Peterson, and Andrew Tate just came up. I was like, all right, let's see what this guy's about.
No, it's weird because they do put him together. Yeah, my biggest one. I have like 15 big pet peeves about Jordan Peterson. People's takes on Jordan Peterson. And Jordan Peterson.
Start with the lowest and go.
No, because first off, everyone either throws him into like red pill manosphere shit, right? Or they throw him into like the whole like Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, like.
I don't think Jordan Peterson. I don't think he comes off as red pill. I think he's too pussy.
He's neither.
Yeah, he's not a red pill.
No,
dude.
but everyone is like, oh, he's like one of those conservative like, types.
Okay.
But they can't actually like fully typecast him because he doesn't actually fit into either of those slots. And I just think it's really interesting.
Sorry, for a sec, just real quick. You like people like that can't easily be like identified?
Well, I do think it's an admirable quality. Yeah.
It's an important quality. You could even argue, right?
I think it's like necessary but not sufficient, because you could be like not typecastable. But then you could also just be useless, right?
True that.
Actually, that's a different segue, because I have a friend who thinks for himself a lot, right?
Yeah, but he's a retard.
No, he actually does.
Oh, really?
And I do too. And I'm like most.
I think you were giving me some irony here. It's like, it's ironically enough.
No, because it's really interesting, because what most people think thinking for themselves looks like is not what thinking for themselves actually looks like.
It's lonely. It's a lonely process.
Well, it's lonely. Like, you're going to get a lot of things wrong.
Yeah.
Most people are just going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
But you're still going to be miles ahead of them because you bothered to try. Well, that's the important part, is actually tangible.
Well, half and half, right? Because no, it's not actually guaranteed you'll be miles ahead, because
you'll still have more experience, and experience
Well, no, it's that society isn't always wrong. In fact, oftentimes it's probably correct.
Yeah, but it's still sometimes better to learn things firsthand.
Oh, in that sense, yes. But I'm saying, you could just be catching up to what people already know just because they follow the crowd. Like, you don't know what society gets wrong and what society gets right. And if you think for yourself, you still kind of don't until you actually try things, and then you fail.
True.
And then that's kind of like how you learn it.
I mean, the only way you can't fail is if you expect failure as a part of. If you accept failure as a part of the process, you're
for sure.
You're like, I know I'm going to run into bumps, but this is it. Whether I reach my goal or not, I'm going to try anyway. And the fact that I'm trying my everything I got, that automatically kind of is enough, right? Because that's enough. That's enough for you to walk away from a situation without regret.
I wouldn't even know, honestly. That's like a person by person thing.
But I said it's enough. It's not guaranteed, but that's enough for you to take away from something. Whereas if you stop halfway and just walk away, you'll always have that feeling. It's like, well, what if,
I don't know, man. Sometimes I've definitely committed to shit in my life where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep going. Then like 3 years later, I'm like, why? Like I already used a bust, you know.
Okay, so then name some things that you have kept going to this day.
Kind of don't want them public, I guess. No,
What?
they're not.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna speak in the hypothetical.
All right.
But like, no, but I just lost my train of thought.
No, it's okay. You're basically talking about being consistent, persistent,
Yeah.
tenacious.
Well, I mean, like to me, there's like a velocity and like, like velocity is like a speed and a direction, right?
Yeah.
So like how fast you go and the correctness of your direction are like kind of two independent things,
Yes.
right? Like you could go very fast in the wrong direction
Yes.
and you won't necessarily notice. And
Yeah.
people just call that like, oh, I'm being persistent. It's like, but you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, and that can be just as bad as, you know, having the correct direction and not going in it,
Yes.
or like, you know.
But you know what's
can
funny
be
though?
both.
You could also like, I mean, it's interesting you say that because I would also like acknowledge the fact that you could have two people going the same exact path, parallel paths, not
Yeah.
the same, but it'll be correct for one person and completely wrong for the other person.
For sure.
So it's like it's funny how that works, right? It's like so
It's all context specific, really.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
you know, what could be the correct path one day can be the wrong path the next day.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, the rug got pulled out from under you,
Yeah.
and now you got to adapt.
Yep.
Go.
Yeah, for sure. That's why, you know, like I've always liked the idea of, well, I was always drawn to like the myth of Sisyphus, you know.
Yeah.
Also,
Fun one.
it's that story is really reflective of Eastern philosophy, because this is the
Yeah.
I think all right for
Well, dude, you got like 15 Camus.
I know those were a
on your
gift.
bookshelf.
Those were a gift for
It's pretty lit.
yo, but for real though, like the thing about I acknowledge and admit that Western philosophy is superior to Eastern. Western canon is superior to Eastern philosophy. I admit that.
I may actually disagree with you.
I admitted it. But there is one place where Eastern philosophy is superior. It's that the Asians are just better at the dissolution of the ego. Like they become one with the process a lot better. Like in terms of there's no I or we. I'm literally
Right.
just the martial arts I'm doing. I'm literally just the instrument I'm playing.
yeah.
I'm the tea I'm pouring, you know, like
Yeah.
it's that kind of sense of like disillusionment really makes you that turns you into a person who could be at peace with anything. And if you're a person who could be at peace with anything, that is like really, really powerful. It's not going to guarantee happiness, success, or whatever, but it's a really good trump card. You know, it's like a really
Yeah.
good.
It'll guarantee you doing that role well. At
Yeah.
the very least, hopefully.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's and if you notice, like if you look at like most Asian society, that's pretty apparent, right? You got a lot of Asians working real shit jobs, but working those shit jobs very, very well. Like
I mean, see, I don't know if that's inherent in Asian society-ness, because, like, okay, but when we had the Industrial Revolution, we kind of had the same shit going, right? With, like, immigrants from, like, Ireland or, like, you know, Italy or whatever.
no, you can't. Honestly, that's a false.
Or, like, England with the factory jobs.
That's a false association because the difference is it's just when life in Western society was a lot more chaotic, and chaos
Yes.
is life. You know, like life in Western society, you got to
Well,
touch
hold on.
titties, you got to fucking piss in the streets without getting
Hold
whipped.
on. Like, China's pretty chaotic.
Yes, it's chaotic, but it's not like all right. In what a Western society is more like at this point, the pinnacle of Western society, let's say, is America, right?
Based.
Okay, so in American society, I'll give you the example of being a Chinese guy in America. When you're a Chinese guy in America, you're a Chinese American.
Wait, are you speaking, like, for yourself?
No, I'm not Chinese.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
like
saying.
you're Korean.
We were talking about China, so I'm giving you.
Okay.
For the sake of this hypothetical, right? If you're a Chinese American, you're an American, yeah, but you're also a Chinese. You know, so like amongst all the Americans, at least you have. Like, I'm not just an American, I'm a Chinese American, right?
I guess.
But when you're a Chinese person
Yeah.
in
that's
China,
like it, yeah.
you're nobody.
That is true.
That is just inherent marginalization because everyone is just margins. Everyone
Okay,
is
hold on.
Chinese.
That's a really weird take there, right?
How is that weird?
No,
It
because
makes
you're
a lot of
saying
sense.
that you know, like the native of the country is the marginalized person.
No. I'm saying to be in a country like America where there really are no natives except for the ones we basically made extinct. But like in a country like America where there are no natives, everyone's a novelty. In a country where you are the native where you are the native, like you're not a novelty. There's no novelty there. So you have just that much less to be like, like stick out with and to call, to identify with. And that's a huge problem in America. We're talking about like sixth generation white Americans that literally have they're culturally bankrupt. And you know what you know how these people live? They're like the meth heads, the fucking tweakers, the highway people, the shopping cart lady. Dude, that's what happens to you when you lose your cultural identity. And that's where we're all headed in America. It's a give and take. Yeah, America is a land of the free, whatever, home of the brave. But over time, over Hispanic generations in a conglomerate like America, it degrades you. It does. So it's a give and take. Yeah, you are nobody.
Concept. Okay.
I'm just saying, it's like nothing's like black and white. There's like positive and negatives to every context. Like,
I mean, I have a lot of thoughts on this, but I'd have to like gather them.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying. I'm sorry. I shouldn't talk like I'm like this is objective truth. I'm just giving my take on it.
That's entirely fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say if there's one criticism I have, I wish you had mic stands.
I do. It's just they're so annoying to set up and.
My hands getting tired.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I like holding the mic. It reminds me of like the old school. Actually, no, I don't know what this reminds me of. I don't know why I prefer holding the mic.
You're like an MC.
Oh shit, you're right. It is like an MC.
Yeah, you're like a lead singer in a band.
I mean, even singers in bands like have like microphone stands.
They do. I
don't
just give them the mic and they're like, "Here, hold this for the entire concert." It'd be kind of funny, actually.
No, I like holding the mic because you get to swing it around and shit. Like that's awesome.
I never been a lead singer, but yeah.
Oh well.
No, but okay. Let's just get
also, no. Okay, you know why I like holding the mic?
What?
Because when you're in like a hip hop site, you got to pass the mic. It's like, yo, let me pass the mic and pass the mic, right?
Yeah, you gotta. That's what you gotta do on your podcast. You just gotta like give people a fucking mic every time they want to talk.
Like straight up, like journalists. Like it's like, Mr. Dmitriy, how do you feel? How do you feel about these cross dressers parked in front of your home? He's like, I just got here, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They're a little hot. I don't know.
Wait, hold on. See what time we're at. Oh shit!
What?
See, time moves slow when you're having fun.
Does it?
No, I'm stoned.
Well,
Maybe time moves fast for you, but
what? I feel like I've been here forever.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, forgot. You're the nervous one. Actually, you know what? Maybe 30 minutes is kind of a long time. So, you know what? I could edit out. You want to take a pee break? Back.
I'm just retarded.
I love that word, retarded.
Same.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be so sad when I have to stop saying it. I don't want to stop saying it, but I'm gonna have to eventually.
Don't let them stop you.
I'm totally with that. I'm like,
don't let the Jews stop you.
Oh god,
it's not the Jews. But
oh man, I wish it was just the Jews. That would make things simple. You'd have, but it's not. It's not the Jews. It's literally just it's slave morality people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's the people who have nothing except for the idea and the notion of being able to demonize people for the behavior and the things they say, and they have nothing else to,
And they're not even retarded. That's really the worst part.
Okay, so, yeah, I mean, no, all right, let's put it in this light, right? So it's like, if we're talking about power as an objective thing, something like that's borderline a resource, because power can literally help you survive in this world. So if we're talking about power and we're talking about people who like overtly seek power and we're like, yeah, that's an obvious fucking, a tell. Like, yeah, that guy totally is clearly a power hungry asshole. Better steer clear of him. But then you got people who like, the kind of people who would just insist that everybody gets an equal fair share no matter what, blah, blah, blah. And if you think about it, they're playing the same fucking game, just in a different strategy. Like it's to them.
Tell it, Chris.
Because if you do it like that, like what you're doing is, yes, like the people who may not be able to achieve as much, whatever, finally get a little bit. But at the same time, you're taking away from people who worked harder. just to give to the people who didn't work as hard, point blank. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, and I'm not saying that's fair or unfair, but it's still a fact of the matter. You're literally taking control of a situation and enforcing a system. That's no different than saying, I'm the one that gets everything. The rest of you go fuck yourselves and you fucking suck my dick if you want any. You know, like, it's like, I mean, I guess in one sense, like, you could argue, like, oh, this is for the greater good.
I'm actually going to argue that the people who want the quote-unquote equality, as you said, are worse. Because, well, I'm not going to go into the whole thing between, like, jealousy versus envy.
Yeah.
But, like, conceptually, it's like, you know, some people don't even want things. They just want other people to not have things. Right?
Oh,
and
come on.
That's worse.
No. You know, see, what I do is I tend to just, I always blame incompetence before I blame malicious intent.
It's not malicious intent, nor is it incompetence. It's like, I don't know how else.
No,
to
that
explain
is malicious intent. What you're describing is pure evil. Like, oh, because I can't have it, I don't want anyone else to have it.
No, it's not even that they can't have it. They can.
They just don't want anyone to have it?
No, it's not even that they don't want anyone to have it. They just see other people, and they're like, I don't like that.
Yeah, so why? Why don't they like it?
Because it reflects poorly on them.
Why does it reflect poorly on them?
Because when they see a successful person, they are reminded of their own failures.
Yeah.
And they cannot handle it.
Yeah.
So they'd rather be like, I'm going to shut down the successful person.
Yeah.
Just to, like, let myself live with myself.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of the logic there.
So do you think that that behavior is, like, malicious?
I wouldn't use that word.
It's incompetence, dude. These people are so incompetent because they don't even have the competence to believe in themselves enough to take that first step. You know what? I will take a shower today. You know what? I will take a walk outside instead of sitting on my couch. You know what? I will finally try to get fill out that job application at that coffee shop where I bitch about every day. You know, it's like, you know what? Maybe I will fucking go for that first day at the job. I mean, you know what? Maybe I will work really hard today and the first day and every other day.
I am those people. I don't try that hard.
But I'm saying we're talking about a series of good decisions, right?
Yeah,
so what we're really talking about is like a decision-making engine. For some people, their engine is really effective. For other people, their engine just sucks.
No, but I think you're conflating two things here.
No. I'm not conflating. What I'm saying is, like, I'm not saying there's one reason or another why their engine is bad. For some people, they could have just experienced the wrong type of trauma at the very wrong time, and it just fucked them up in a way where they just are incapable of making good decisions at the right time.
Even what I'm talking
For some
about,
people, it could just be they're born fucking stupid. For other people, it could be as unfortunate as, like, they had a brain injury. You know, like.
But yeah, okay. But the envy thing and how hard you work don't necessarily correlate, which is kind of the interesting thing.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, you can be, like, fairly successful. You can work hard. And you could still not want other people to have shit just because they have it and you don't.
Wait a minute. Why do you think that's, like, such a unnatural thing? That makes total sense.
No, it's not unnatural. It's pretty natural.
Yeah, it makes total fucking sense.
But that's what I'm talking about. So, like, the idea that, like, oh, you're incapable and that's why you're doing this, I don't think that's true. You know?
Wait. So, okay, you know what I would think? It's like, all right. So, let's say you are a person who, for one reason or another, your series of decision making algorithms in your meat brain, in your meat computer.
Right.
Let's say for whatever reason or another, when it comes for the pivotal moment of those little things we're talking about, it's like, am I going to go outside today? No. Am I going to go fill out that job interview? No. Like, fill out that job app? No. Am I going to? Like, it's just for one reason or another, you're just rapidly choosing one wrong decision after another, and you're one of those people, whatever.
Yeah.
On some level, you're going to be conscious of it. You're going to know you're making bad decisions. You're going to know.
For sure.
You can't help it because you're going to see other people making the right decisions, and you just don't know why. Or maybe you do know why, but regardless, you know you don't make the right decisions, right? So if you're a person who's conscious, right, of the fact that you make the wrong decisions, and you have the opportunity to, like, sabotage other people who do make the right decisions in comparison, in spite of people like you, it's only smart to want to do it. You know, like, I get it.
Well,
I'm not one of those people. I'm not identifying as them, but, like, I'm trying to empathize here. You know,
it's
like,
actually even worse than that, because it's not like they want to do it, right? They don't want to take the things away. They want a system that is not under their control to take things away. Like,
did you ever
they're
hear?
not even gonna like be like, I want to fuck up the millionaire. They're gonna be like, no, I want like a system to fuck up the millionaire for me and give me his money. Like, I don't want to do it myself.
Yeah, I'm like that.
That's even crazier.
No, I'm like that. I'm totally like that. I'm like, I would totally get like some stupid ass people to fucking do the killing and uprising for me so I could benefit at the end. 100%. The thing is,
No one will admit to it.
The thing is, I am fundamentally fucking against like, because like I'm an Asian at the end of the day. You know, an Asian warrior at the end of the day doesn't want really seek. We don't seek revolutions. We don't seek grand things. It's not.
You had a communist revolution.
Look, in our minds, in the minds of most Asians, it's not about changing the world. It's about doing our absolute fucking best to leave it the way it is. But for some reason, humans just can't fucking do that. That's why Asians make it a virtue to say it's not about changing the world. It's about doing our best to leave it the way it is, and to respect the wishes of others. You know, but we can't fucking do that. But we should try, and that's what it is. That's the difference. But the thing is, it's like, if I'm already stuck in a world where I'm surrounded by people who just can't help but wanting change yesterday or wanting to like get over on someone tomorrow or next year, I'm like, all right, fucking fine, then I'll play this game. If this is a game that we're all playing, and I don't even hold it personally against humanity, because like I look at nature, you know, I look at like the tactics that animals use against each other, and it's like just as, if not more ruthless sometimes, you know. And there's like a purity in that ruthlessness, and I understand it, and it should be our job to transcend it. Which, that's my opinion. That's where I lean towards. That's why I'm about playing the game. That's why I want to get so good at it, so I could like beat people into submission at their own game and be like, all right, now can you fucking listen to me and let me explain to you why what you're trying to do to me is petty, and I beat you anyway, so you should listen to me and I will guide you to the right path.
Based.
That's what I want to do. That's why I strive to be better. It's so I could, like, you know, for example, money. Money is the kind of thing that I want, not just for the sake of having it. I want to have all the money so that if there's people that, you know, like want to tell me like the wrong thing, I could be like, you know what, fuck you. No, that's wrong. Here's why. What are you going to tell me I'm wrong? Look what I have and you don't. And I wouldn't start with this.
Hold on. You could do that at any income level.
I'm just saying, no, if I just don't want to be like, I don't want to, you know, like work for someone who like says like, oh, you know what? I just hate women so much, I want to beat the shit out of them. Like, I want to be able to tell a person like that, yo, go fuck yourself. If it's someone like, you know, someone.
You could do that at any income level, like I said.
No, you can't.
Why not?
What if you become homeless?
Who cares?
I care.
Bro, homeless people can tell anyone anything. It's the best.
Yeah, but what they say doesn't actually matter.
Well, it does and it doesn't. Like,
it doesn't. Nobody cares what a homeless person has to say.
I mean, so you're talking about status, right?
Yes.
Like,
not that this thing is something to covet, but it is an objective resource. It's an objective element of like power, and power is a very, very real thing. Yeah,
but I mean,
it's not the only facet to power. There's many forms of power. Power takes many, many shapes. It could some of it could just be inner tranquility, where it's like, you know what, fuck it, I don't care about it. I don't need anything. Right. I don't need material objects. I don't need sex. I don't need booze. I don't need stimulation. I'm perfectly content just sitting and being. That's what like a Buddhist strives for, right? Yeah, you could live like that, but it's not my bag. And I admit it. I'm honest. I want material things. Not all of the material things, but
they're pretty nice.
What?
They're pretty nice.
Exactly. You know, like
no, but like, what was I gonna say?
But you know, I don't want to be like a complete scumbag about it, because like there are still things that I believe in that's older than me and that's bigger than me. You know, I'm not the center of the fucking universe. I know that. I'm still a part of things that I know existed long before me and will exist long after me. And that's what keeps me grounded. I should admit that right now. Like, if it wasn't for those things, I would be like 100%, 110% complete unhinged narcissist, sociopath too. But the thing,
off, Chris. Let's go.
But the thing is, like, I'm a part of things where it's like, yo, like this was around long before me. I would never have reaped the benefits for me if it wasn't for so many people who gave and like gifted this legacy upon me by pure chance, and it's up to me to like uphold that the right way. That has nothing to do with me and my desires. It's just like me respecting, giving back to what I think was like given to me that I don't think I necessarily deserve, but I will gladly take and try to honor to the best of my ability. You know,
what you're like referring to
martial arts.
Oh, okay, right. You do your martial arts.
Right? Oh, yo, you know, I was thinking about taking up boxing.
That's pretty crazy.
The sweet science. I love it. Because like I used to do like traditional karate, And like, but I went to a Western school, in Western schools they really like to make kids beat the shit out of you. It's great. It's a great time.
Yeah.
Like when you're like, you know, like
Alright.
6 years old, they put gloves on you and pair you up with like an 8-year-old. It's like beat the shit out of him, and he's just like fucking punching you in the chest and knocking the wind out of you. It gets you like pretty beefed up. You're like,
Yeah,
all right, you know, at least I could take it. Like,
Yeah, sock and boppers were a fantastic invention.
no, that wasn't they use
No,
like
I'm just
some
joking.
little ass fucking little kid 4-ounce gloves, or I don't know whatever the fuck they use, but that shit hurt. I remember as a kid, I learned what it feels like to get hurt really early, and
Really?
that was
Okay.
important.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I think boxing is like really good.
Yeah,
as a
boxing is
sport,
well,
but
boxing.
it's also like very limited as a fighting.
No,
style.
no, no, no. I the thing is, I revere boxing to like mythical proportions because here's the thing. I think boxing is like a responsibility. If you're trained in boxing and you stick
Yeah.
with it for like even 6 months,
Yeah.
I think it's more on you to like avoid fights as much as possible. Otherwise, every outcome is your fault, no matter what happens. Dude, you don't understand how lethal just pure, not just the technique, but the pure
Yeah.
conditioning and consistent training, even twice a week.
Wow.
That turns you into an extremely dangerous person. Like it's not even funny. It's literally
Interesting.
imagine you're with your girl, right? You're at a bar and you've been doing boxing for like 7 months, and some guy comes up, he's like mad drunk and like whatever, accidentally elbows your girl in the face and she's bleeding, right?
Damn, bro. What kind
And
of bars you go to?
And then what happens? Like you go and you give him I'm just gonna deck him just to fucking calm him down. And you fucking pop him. And
Yeah.
just because you're trained, you know how to like just step with your punch, rotate slightly, fucking follow through, you know, go through it, and then
Yeah,
he gets
okay.
knocked back and like boom, instant, like he just gets slapped out, right? Lucked out. And then all of a sudden his head hits the corner of the bar and he's fucking like it hits his temple and he dies. That's on you. And it happens
Well,
that fast.
Yeah.
Because like to throw a punch, like 90% of the people in this planet don't know how to fucking fight. That's just
Yes.
that's just a blatant truth.
I
And
agree
like
with
that being said, if you're a person who knows not just how to take a punch, how to throw a punch, how to dodge a punch, how to weave a punch, and how to like move your fucking body from the ground up,
Yeah.
like feet up, you're literally miles ahead against any average person on an
Yeah.
untrained person any given day. And guess what? 90% of the people are untrained.
Well, yeah. I mean, my general rule of thumb is it's like anyone who's trained will basically beat anyone who's untrained unless there's like a massive weight disparity.
No, that's not true. Cause like I've been taking sword for like a long time, and like if I don't have at least a stick with me, and like you know a tough like guy like came and try, I might be virtually useless.
Really?
I mean,
Interesting.
all right. Don't get me wrong. In a sword fight, right? I'm taught distance, range,
Those
and
are
I'm
all
also
super
taught mentality. So for my instance, it's I would probably see a fight coming a mile away. I would
Yeah, for
leave.
sure.
I'm the type you would not see me in a situation like seriously, like I don't think you would ever see me in a situation knowingly getting into a fight that I'll be unprepared for. And that's what sword taught me. Sword literally teaches you to completely avoid any fight you are not prepared for and to only go in to something you know you could win and diffuse like that. If you see me in a situation, I'm not fucking with it because I know my limits. I know like I you know a sword practitioner. There's a joke they call them glass hands because like they're not trained to like strike all day. I mean, yeah, I did karate before that, you know, but that's not what my adult mind was trained in. My adult mind is trained in like combat with a sword, and all I know is distance,
No, but-
angles, like cutting angles and shit.
I mean, from the little martial arts that I've taken, as far as I know, they're like a sword is an extension of your hand,
Yeah.
right? So it's like an extension of your body. So like you get like analogous techniques not with sword that you translate to sword. No,
What do you mean? If I did other styles and that I could apply to sword?
like there's like martial arts that have weapons and then also not weapons, and then like you know it's like the same movement but with a weapon is like the same movement. I don't
Okay.
know how to explain it. I don't know.
You know what? Forget. You know what? I'll explain it to you in a way that you'll really, really like, because this
Okay.
applies to virtually every martial art.
Sure.
So in sword, right? I want you to imagine like I'm your opponent, right? And we're talking lines. Just for
Okay.
right now, first line I want you to look at is center line.
All right.
So if you were to look at the center line, just in the context of a sword, there's 8 directions you could strike me. There's this way diagonal,
Right.
this way diagonal, straight, side, side, upward diagonal, and straight.
Right.
As thrusting.
No
8 directions.
downward up. Okay.
What?
You can't do one of these.
No, that's stupid.
Yeah,
Don't even
right.
try.
You're right. You're
But
right.
but you know what? I mean, boxing may not give you as many places to strike, but it still follows the same geometry, center line. So it's like, you know how like you ever see videos of boxers where it's like try to hit me and then they just bob and weave?
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, yeah, it does take like decent reflexes to be able to do it like that.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
but most of it, the way to get there as a newbie, they don't teach it to you as in like just be faster.
No.
What they do is they teach you the math. They teach you center line. I want you to really think about. First of all, this is funny. I always say this about martial arts. I always say martial arts was made for nerds. It wasn't made for big fucking jocked out cock diesel dudes. It was made martial arts was made so the little guy could beat the little guy, bigger guy. That's literally the purpose of it. So anyway, back to like boxing or whatever. I want you to think of like center line, if you really think about it, every strike is going to cross that. So if I just imagine this straight line between me and you and my center, it's like if no matter what you do, if you even telegraph a hit or try to like even flinch, all I got to do is boop, boop, boop. And then if even shift the weight so you could do rolls and you could do slips. Like that's how it works. It's all math. It's nothing to do really with like I gotta be that's not what they're thinking in their heads.
No, of course.
What they're thinking is purely 2 + 2 = 4. So it's like, all right, set up.
Yeah, he's going this way. I go that way.
Exactly. Set up.
I go that way.
Or it's like I look at his foot. I look at where his weight is. I look at you're out of balance. I'm gonna fuck you up. It's like it's literally like so. It's like you don't know this. You don't ever realize this until like let's say you've been training at a school.
Right.
Like for months and months, you're gonna feel like a piece of shit. You're gonna be like, oh wow, I suck. Why am I still doing this? I totally suck at this. But you stick with it. You keep doing it, and you're like, I totally suck. And it's not until like a person, like a civilian, like someone who doesn't do any of this shit, like asks about it. They're like, yo, you wanna talk to me about it? And you give them a practice story. It's like, all right, let's do it together. Or some of them even try to act tough. They're like, oh, you think you're tough because you do this? Like, yeah, I'll take you on in a sword fight. Let's do this, whatever.
Okay.
And then you're like, and then at first, when it first happens. You get a little nervous because you're like, oh shit, what if I embarrass myself in my school and my training? I put so much into this. And then you do it, and then suddenly you start noticing things. You're like, wait a minute. Because you're essentially going up against an untrained person, and you're like, your shit's all wrong. Like your foot, because you're being taught every day, don't do that, don't do this. You're fucking up. You're doing this. You're dropping your hands. You're doing this. This is why you don't drop your hands. This is why you don't fucking drop your legs like that. And they punish you.
Right.
So when you see them making the same mistakes, you start to get ideas. You're like, oh shit, this guy sucks. And then suddenly you start exploiting it the same way you get exploited, and that is when you realize your power. You're like, oh shit, I could fuck this dude up. And that is when it slowly starts to dawn on you that your training amounted to something, and that's a really good feeling. And it's so that's why I think everyone should do martial arts. I think if every able-bodied person did martial arts, like 70% of our social issues would just magically go away.
See, it's funny because I used to do Aikido for a bit.
Aikido's great.
Well, yeah, but
I love Aikido
also,
because of its accessibility. You could be like 80 or 8 and you can still do Aikido.
No, I don't know about that. But no, the problem is it's like if you do it wrong, it's just useless.
Okay, fair enough.
Like,
well, I think the question is why are you doing Aikido?
No, I was just doing it because it was...
No, not you specifically. I mean, like, if you approach something like Aikido, you got to ask yourself, why are you doing this? Are you trying to beat the shit out of people?
Relative to other martial arts?
Yeah, sure. Like, if you have a choice and you don't do any martial arts and you could, like, literally
or you do Aikido. Yeah, it's like, why not karate?
Yeah, so it's like you by the time you get to Aikido, it's why are you doing Aikido? And it's like, usually by the time you get to that 3rd or 3-month mark, you're like, it doesn't matter why you're in it. You're stuck. You're fucking sucked in. But like usually that's what it is. It's like you're there for a reason, and it's something about that art specifically drew you, whether it's Muay Thai, Aikido, Kung Fu, or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as I know, like if you read on the internet, right? Not everyone, but like they say like, oh, you should not learn Aikido as your first martial art. Like, you're already expected to know martial arts, and then you take Aikido. Because they will not teach you, like, really basic shit, like striking, or, like the center line stuff, or just how to even attack, really.
Okay, so...
And I did feel that. It's like really defensive.
Okay, so I'm not going to speak for every martial arts, but this is what I understand about Aikido. Because Aikido isn't like one of the ancient Japanese arts. It's not modern, but it's fairly modern, right?
Yeah, basically.
So here's the thing about Aikido. You know, this is how I like to view martial arts. I'm not saying it's fair to the martial arts that I view it, you know, as this way, but I view every specific martial art in a style as a system.
Yeah.
They're teaching you a system. And nothing exemplifies this more than like more modern Japanese martial arts like Aikido. Aikido doesn't bill itself as a way of life or the end all be all martial art or the only thing you'll ever need to be the ultimate badass. Aikido literally
depends on where you go, dude. But okay.
But like I'm talking about from the roots in terms of the contextual root of like where it came from.
Roots,
His historical context.
Yeah.
And it's built as a system. It was made as a system. And you know how I know this? Because so many other martial arts from Japan specifically are built the same way. Judo, karate.
Right.
They were, I mean, there were a lot of killing arts way before that, you know, a lot. Like, especially all the old samurai arts, you know? Every samurai art wasn't just about sword. A real samurai school taught you, like, spear, bow, probably those two things first before a sword.
You also probably just know how to fight normally.
That too, you know, because to be, to be a samurai wasn't just a swordsman. To be a samurai meant you were a professional soldier, like you were a professional warrior. So yeah, that's the whole thing. And the thing about Aikido is a more modern thing. It's not built from like the times of like the samurai. It was built for more of a systemic, like practical military use. You know, like not just military, but also like a systemic like branch off of like other arts. You know, historically. Yeah, but plenty of arts do that too.
Remember, but okay. Yeah. I learned some of this and I just forgot it.
Yeah, well.
There's a whole history to all these martial arts.
Yeah, but you know what? So it's like I appreciate Aikido for what it says it is, which is just, you know, a system, that's supposed to specifically focus on very specific things, and that has heavily implied, you know, with like self-defense and like offense and fighting and combat and arts and shit. But you know, like there's other systems that I like more than others. Like I know karate is very cheesy, very corny, but I love it. It's because I love the simplicity. It's just like it's a system, you know, it's boof boof, you know, but if you really get the flow of it down, you're just as graceful as a boxer. But I'm leaning
but you get kicks.
Yeah, but I'm leaning into boxing though, straight up, heavily, definitely.
I'm surprised you're not gonna do like MMA or something. I feel like everyone's just doing MMA.
And no. This is why I don't want to do.
I mean, like rather BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right?
Well, I have reasons.
I always conflict.
No, I have reasons not wanting to do BJJ, but for MMA specifically, I think the proper way to do MMA is way too intensive. Like people just think I could just go to one MMA school and get all my needs met. No, because to really learn MMA, you're not just learning one art. You're learning a combination of like a striking art with your feet and your legs. So that could be like kickboxing and Muay Thai. You're also learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. You're also fucking learning wrestling. You know, so it's like already that's three. That's three different things. Exactly. And so even if you were to learn one of those arts to their full mastery, you got to do like at least 3 days a week. So like so a real MMA guy has to commit his life. So like these UFC guys who really do mixed martial art. If you're just a casual, you know, it's like you're gonna rob yourself. Whereas if you could just commit 1 or 2 days to just one of those things, like wrestling, boxing, kickboxing, or jiu-jitsu, you will go a lot further. But if you really want to do MMA, then you got to go all out. And I just don't want to go all out with MMA.
So you're saying like the Bruce Lee like 1,000 kicks idea? You know, like you practice a single kick 1,000 times. You're more deadly than the guy that practiced 1,000 kicks one time or whatever.
I don't know about that. I'm just talking about like pure like logistics. You know, like what's gonna make more sense to me because I only have certain days of the week. I only got certain time, you know, time in the day to be able to do shit.
You want a full ass one thing instead of
and it's not cheap to have to train in with schedule a wrestling thing at the same time a jiu-jitsu thing at the same time a kickboxing and a Muay Thai thing and all the striking arts. It's a lot. You can't just learn that from like it's an amalgamation of different arts and commitments. Like I'd rather just focus on the sweet science box because if you're a boxer, you're because a boxer can take on multiple guys. A jiu-jitsu guy cannot. Really? Here's the number one weakness of jiu-jitsu. You could probably fuck up anyone 1-on-1, but all it takes is
Oh,
for
right,
that.
because it's grappling. Yeah.
All it takes is for that guy to have one friend, and you're
Yeah,
fucked.
because you're like,
And
you
you're
like jump on him and hold him, and he just, the other guy just
You're
beats you.
fucked,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
But
that's
if you're a boxer, it takes 20 seconds to knock out 1, 2, 3.
Mm.
Boom, boom, boom. Like, because you're taught literally,
Yeah.
you're not taught anything, but you're using your fucking fist as like a gun. Like, you're just like, psh.
Okay, well, what's your take on the whole YouTube boxing thing? Because I actually got into that,
What do you mean?
like, watching it, not, like, doing it.
Oh, it's hilarious. I love it. It's funny. I don't think it's real boxing, but it's funny to watch. Like with Sam Hyde and then the
Yeah.
whole. Yeah, I love that shit. It's hilarious.
Yeah, no.
Well, I saw Harley fight, and that was awesome. I was like rooting. I was rooting for him so hard, and when he won, I was like, "Yeah." You know who I'm talking about, right? The
Yeah.
Epic Mealtime guy.
Dude, fun fact. I don't even want to. I don't know if I want to say this on a podcast.
What?
I actually know Dr. Mike in real life.
Who's Dr. Mike?
The guy who fought iDubbbz in that fight where Harley fought.
Oh, did he beat iDubbbz?
Yeah, he beat iDubbbz.
Was iDubbbz a bitch?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't even pay attention.
But iDubbbz organized the whole thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I just didn't give a shit about the iDubbbz fight. All I cared about, I was just like, I just cared about Harley. I just wanted to see the big dude fight. I was like, because he was so confident, and the other
Yeah.
guy was so confident. I was like, there's no way Harley's gonna lose because he's so fucking huge. You know, I was like, there's no
No,
fucking
he
way.
definitely had it way up on Ego Raptor. Even though I love Ego Raptor, you know, like fucking
Yeah.
awesome Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Metal
The,
Gear
also,
Solid.
like, I just,
I was
and
like,
also,
this
it's like,
is
it's all, I was kind of spiteful against like iDubbbz for that because he banned Sam Hyde from showing up. I was
Yeah,
like, what a
that's
bitch
like
for
the
that.
plot.
I hate that shit. Oh, it was so. But you know what? I don't want to be too like heavily passionate about any opinion because like I don't want to attach myself to that realm. I want to be above it. You know, I want to transcend.
No, it's just fun, you know? It's fun to see, like, these internet characters, like, fight each other.
Well,
it's like Super Smash
here's the
Bros.
thing. I care
with,
a
like,
lot.
real-life people.
I care a lot about Epic Mealtime. I have a lot of precious
Yeah?
memories with friends,
Interesting.
like with past friends in the past. You know, with Epic
I mean,
Mealtime.
my favorite one is the...
Four Loco Chili was my favorite.
Nah,
That
it's
fucked
the-
me up, dude. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with
the
these
one
guys?
where he did it with FPS Russia.
He did something with FPS Russia?
Yeah, they, like, did, like, Epic Mealtime with, like, guns.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you just, like, take a Glock and, like, scoop, like, mac and cheese with it or something.
Oh, that's
I
silly.
was like, yeah, that's funny as fuck.
What I did like is the tequila taco. The tequila... was it tequila tacos?
I don't know.
Oh, that shit was fucked up.
They did a lot.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I like the
don't
alcohol
remember
shit,
all
but
of it.
but what it was really about was the calorie content.
Yeah.
We were talking about like 50,000 calorie dishes. I was like, holy
I
fuck.
can't imagine how they ate more than like 3 bites of half of those things.
That's why they needed a crew first of all to eat like all that shit.
That's true. The crew got fed.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wonder if they tasted good.
It did. Those
think
those
so?
no, I think those guys knew how to cook. That's why it was funny.
I would hope so, but like
No, that's why it was funny because like they were doing shit not terribly. Like I don't think it was disgusting. Like
no. I
the
mean,
only thing that was
I don't
disgusting.
think it'd be a bad dish, but I just like I wonder what it tastes like. Yeah.
Okay, so when they did like McDonald's sushi, like I could imagine exactly what that tastes like.
All right.
You're just wrapping up different McDonald's things into like sushi things.
It would taste like McDonald's, right?
Yeah, with bacon and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it could be cool.
Yeah. So, like I said, I have a lot of precious memories with Epic Mealtime. That's why I was so rooting for Harley to beat
Yeah.
Ego Raptor.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like that's to me that's not even a fair fight though. No offense to either of them.
Yeah.
Like Harley's just way
Way bigger. He had the
It's a
physicality. Yeah.
little-
There was no way he was gonna lose that.
Yeah, like he could maybe not win it, but he wasn't gonna lose.
You know what was awesome though? I think he called out Dr. Disrespect, like WWF style.
I don't even know who that is, but yeah.
You don't know Dr. Disrespect?
No.
Oh man.
Could fill me in or not, I don't care.
He's just a really like he's a pretty talented like battle royale game style player, you know, like he plays like a Modern Warfare shit, a Fortnite.
Oh, so he's like a streamer.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, is he like jacked?
What?
Is he like jacked?
No, but he's like the character he puts on is a very macho guy. Like he always puts on the glasses and the fake mustache and the wig. You know, I actually felt bad for him. He had this. Actually, no, I shouldn't feel bad for him. You know what? I feel both. I'm ambiguous about it. He went through this recent scandal, like about how like he cheated on his wife, and it leaked out, and he got like so much backlash from it. And I'm just like this. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that's a shitty thing to do. I'll admit, I wouldn't endorse it, but that's got nothing to fucking do with Dr. Disrespect. Like, you guys don't know any. That is not like. The product you consume really has nothing to do with his fucking personal life. You don't like him for his marriage, like his quality as a fucking husband. You don't know him like that. Like, you just know him as the fucking douchebag, the doofy douchebag that you throw coins at. You know, like what who the fuck are you to like, you know, like even judge? Like, what did your dad do? You think are you so sure that your dad didn't fucking fuck someone else besides your mom? Like, you know, it's like you don't know. So it's like
I hope you know, but yeah.
But at the same time, I will admit, just because of that doesn't make what he did right. So I don't want to like defend what he did either.
No. But dude, you know, I really, 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 really want to see Sam Hyde fight Hassan Piker.
Yeah.
That is like
Hassan Piker deserves to get fucked up by Sam Hyde.
He deserves to get fucked up. There's no question. Like that needs to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
See, half of me like, I feel like someone should have this plan. Where like they like challenge Hassan to like a fight. They're just like way weaker than them. They're like, oh fuck you, I'll fight you, right? And then they just replace themselves with Sam Hyde.
Oh my god, that would be really funny.
And he just be like surprised Sam Hyde's gonna fight you now.
I think he would just walk off the ring. He would leave.
Lose his fucking
No.
shit.
He would leave. He would just walk away.
Probably should leave.
Yeah. What would you do? You would leave. I would be like, no.
I mean, if I was Hassan, I wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. But I also wouldn't be Hassan.
Yeah, Hassan's a little bitch.
That's kind of the problem.
He is a little fucking bitch. Sam Hyde, every criticism that Sam Hyde has said against Hassan Piker is so right. Even Hassan Piker's own fans were like, dude, you claim he's a fucking right-wing Nazi, and you're always saying punch a Nazi.
Punch that guy,
yeah, go punch him then.
Go fucking punch him.
And he bitched out. He's
like in the weight class too, which is even crazier.
And isn't he a trained fighter or something? Like, doesn't he?
I don't know that much.
He just seems like a punk pussy bitch.
See, I only got to know about Hassan because I was watching Destiny. You know, Destiny, the streamer.
No.
Like,
I don't follow streamers.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a streamer guy. You're not a podcast guy. You're a streamer guy. Right. No, now it's just like finally like hitting me. Like,
that's
okay.
like the only streamer I've really ever watched. And I started watching him like a month ago.
Do you watch Poob?
What's Poob?
You ever heard like General Sam and Poob and?
No.
Oh.
Dude, there's so many people on the internet.
Cause like I know this one podcast that's like kind of like a crossover with a streamer world. Yeah.
No, but like, okay, so the thing about Destiny, right, and Hassan is that like they used to be like friends, and Destiny was like the original streamer.
Yeah.
And he like Hassan was like his friend. He'd like platform him.
Oh, Destiny's a dude?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fucking funny that you said that.
I don't know.
No, because if you ever watch any Destiny video and you go in the comments, everyone's like, you know, Destiny's a girl's name. So everyone thinks he's a girl.
I'll be one of those dudes.
No, but like he just did that unironically.
Yeah.
No, but like he's a white dude. Right? And he would like platform Hassan and like they were like good friends or something. And then Hassan was like, he just like mask off, sold out, and just became this like hyper, you know, like he just say whatever's
political
needed.
Man guy.
So
wait, are we talking about Hassan or Destiny?
Well, they're both political streamers, right?
But wait, which one's? I know Hassan's not the cool one, so Destiny's the cool dude.
If you want to say that, like it's all political streaming.
Oh wait, what does he say? Does Destiny say some pretty fucked up shit?
Depends on who you ask.
Oh.
Okay, so I like Destiny because he like thinks for himself to some degree.
Oh, okay, so he thinks for himself. He's one of
he
those
also
guys.
Gets
all right.
a lot of things wrong.
Look, dude, say no more. Dude, I think for myself, and I get plenty of things wrong. It's fine. I know exactly what you mean.
No, but I'm saying like Hassan, you know, he's just repeating like.
Hassan doesn't think for himself.
He does not.
He doesn't think.
He does not. Right? That's kind of like where they split because like Destiny would be like calling him out on like, hey, like you got this wrong. You got this wrong. Like you didn't think about this. And Hassan was just like,
well,
yo,
here's
fuck
the thing.
you.
Here's
like,
the thing about a person who thinks for themselves. Like, I feel like you put yourself in a position where you're hyper aware of like how vulnerable you are. So when you're wrong, you have to be the first to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
You have to be like, all right, wait, no, I was wrong. Because like if you don't do that, then you're fucked. Then you're just a hypocrite. So you have to like. That's
assuming you care.
I'm just saying well, any person who thinks for themselves responsibly should care, right?
Right.
You should always self-scrutinize 100%. I'm totally of that school.
the two go hand in hand. Yeah, if you're
which could be
thinking
annoying
yourself,
for
you have to.
people because like I'll be trying to like explain my beliefs in something and it's like, well, here's what I believe, although I do understand and I do consider this thing about this and I understand this, but I'm just saying in the context of this before I even say that.
Indeed.
So it's like, you know, like I have to cover my bases because if I don't do that, like it's just out of respect, you know, out of respect for like what I'm actually trying to convey. I have to cover my bases to kind of like show
If
you
you're
how
gonna do it publicly, yeah.
yeah, so it's
If you're
like
gonna do it
I don't care if you
privately-
get lost in the process. Like I don't care if it sounds too whatever.
I mean, if you're like two people talking, like, you know, the context is there, right? If you're like gonna put this out to people,
Yeah.
then you have to like be like, here's the whole context of what I'm saying. Do not quote me without the context. You know?
It's exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm just like,
Hell, fuck! I actually lost my voice. I can't do the falsetto right now.
oh no, you can't
I
sing.
want to be like, yeah, I can't.
No, my
Sorry,
cat.
cat.
We're just
I love
bros.
you. I
We're
love
just
you, cat.
bros. He's still younger than me, but pretty soon in cat years he'll be my age, and that's when things will get really fun between us.
And you can smoke weed together.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, we've been past our time for a minute, but I like that we gone a little over. It shows that we liked our conversation.
I wouldn't even know.
But yo, thanks again for
Time-wise.
joining me.
It was a good conversation. Yeah. Thank you.
Cheers. Anyway, say goodnight.
Peace.